it seems that we are complete. If
Yeah, well, yeah,
yeah,
we have a lot on the agenda, so let's get slowly started if anyone joins later.
okay.
Um,
Yes, with the first topic, which is this pull request.
mhm. Yeah,
Um,
this one is a bit tricky because of the symlink. I first thought that the code, the unit test coding for resolving the symlinks is not correct, but it is. The
mhm.
symlink itself was wrong, so it has to be a // symlink. So the context, we want to, or Dimitar wants to promote the use noble stem cell experimental ops file to a regular ops file. And now, instead of just deleting the experimental ops file, which might break some things, there is a procedure that uses a symlink as a temporary solution. And this one is a bit tricky because the symlink has to be exact this format, otherwise the unit tests fail. But with that, then if you add the experimental test, then it should be fine again, and then we can merge this.
The experimental test is originally part of the solution, Jochen. And
You mean it's not deleted?
I have deleted in the original PR, but realized that it is not correct to be deleted. That is why I bring it back in the.
But it's not part of that pull request.
Yeah, it is not part because it should not be deleted.
Okay,
And it was
good.
there before.
Is it? Oh, okay, good. Then I will check again. But I think when then actually the pull request should be fine. Yeah, that's true. If it's not deleted, it's still there. Then I would approve it, and then the unit tests run only after approval, which is a bit odd. We could, yeah, maybe change this. And if it's then green, we can merge it and update the pipelines.
The pipelines need to be edited manually by.
They need to be updated manually. So we configure experimental Hermione AWS with Noble. And of course, we keep, well, yeah, we could then think about retiring the Noble stem cell validation pipeline and yeah.
And the rely on this one.
If we really should dismantle it, because then currently with that we have two hyperscalers, no? GCP and AWS, where we validate Noble.
Yeah, we could use an existing GCP environment for Noble. So I don't think it makes much sense to keep this pipeline around. I mean, we can keep it. Yeah, no, not yet. Later, we will need a separate pipeline for validating Jammy as long as it is supported. Yeah, but only when everything else has been switched to Noble. Okay.
So can I try to update the pipeline, for example, tomorrow to see the result, or is it safe to do that, or
it
maybe
is
later on?
safe when the PR is merged.
Yeah.
Yes, then you can do it. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Then this will be the first step. The first step in the step-by-step approach to integrate novel stem cell into our release pipeline.
Yeah.
Okay. Second point of the agenda is that Milena and Hamidia are working for approval.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Fine. Is that part of your yearly goals?
Yes, I mean, because as I understand from the team, it will be good to have another approver instead of Aftab, because Dimitar won't be here after September. So
yeah. Okay.
Jochen, it is the target to have everyone sooner or later as approver. So on the fast track, we want to have Milena as additional approver because she already worked a lot in the community, and essentially also should substitute partially Dimitar when he's leaving the team. And then as next one is most likely Amide. She also worked a lot on single CF updates and will work in the future more in the community. And the other two colleagues will take longer because they currently work more on internal stuff in the CF product.
Yeah. Okay, so perfectly fine. So Milena, you've contributed already a lot. So yeah, just keep going, and then we can execute the promotion in, I don't know, when you feel ready. Hamide needs to, I think, needs a bit longer to get into things. But okay, good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, super.
So then next point.
On the next point, I added this one because we discussed it earlier in our meetings about the load balancer type, and I discussed it with you also, Jochen, because now we have these hard-coded values in both of the repos in the runtime CI and Concourse task CI repo. And we discussed the best approach because the default type for the load balancer should remain CF, but we might need to have the flexibility to change it for NLB, I mean the networking load balancer type, in order to test and validate the IPv6 scenario. So we discussed what should be the best option. Aftab mentioned adding a Terraform changes. I mean within the CI. Just I need some time to recall where exactly he proposed this to be added, but yeah, this will be the one option. But I'm still wondering, even if we add these Terraform changes, if that I mean, if these values should somehow be dynamically redacted, or I don't know.
So Jochen, in essence, the thing is, I think with the Terraform, then is still the old load balancer is created and then afterwards deleted, and the new one with type NLB is created. Seems not to be the best solution, maybe. The other thing that we have in mind is here in these tasks where I paste it, or where it's actually shared, where the load balancer is created, is all type of CF. If you make this task a little bit more flexible, that the default value is still the old load balancer, and that we somehow make it parameterized so that we can add a parameter for the new load balancer. I think this should be a small change. It's better to be changed. The question is, where can we pass then the parameter to these tasks? Honestly, I did not see.
So, wait. Bosch bootloader has already all required Terraform templates for the network load balancer stuff, right? I've never tried, but it looks as if everything was implemented. Bosch bootloader also knows the parameter for the load balancer. So type CF is the default, but Bubble also knows NLB or network load balancer. And what we now have to do is to make in our Bubble app concourse task to make this correctly configurable. And now we found out that there are two bubble up tasks, one in CF deployment concourse tasks, which is likely more widely used, and then another one in runtime CI. I don't know why there are two. Maybe they're doing the same, maybe not. And here we have to, I guess we should use the CDCT one and enhance it so that we can freely configure the load balancer. Yeah, that should be rather easy.
So to configure it, I mean, like it is in here, but in the other repository, just add the new load balancer time, which should be NLB.
Yes, make it configurable with default CF. And then in our infrastructure pipeline, which is in runtime CI, there we have the final bubble up configuration with the region and all that stuff. And that would be the place where you specify the load balancer type to NLB for the one environment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I
can just
yes?
go there where this task is called in the info, as in the code?
Yeah, it's runtime CI/CI. There you have the infrastructure pipelines. Yeah, infrastructure YAML. And here, if you go to, I don't know, Dobby Bubble Up, or how's it called?
You mean this?
Yes, here, for example, here you see the load balancer certificate, the region, and here, so for Dobby, we could then configure the load balancer type. And you see line 97, we use mainly the CF deployment concourse tasks, bubble up. So that's the one we should update and make it configurable. That's easy. Yeah, there's task YAML. And here we have a number of here we have parameters, and here we add it, and yeah, need to think where to define the default value. But this is standard concourse logic.
Yeah.
Okay, and assuming this works, then we have a network load balancer for the ingress traffic and
exactly this for the ingress traffic. This is a preparation for the ingress traffic. We can start using this new load balancer in the Dobby environment as a first step, and actually in the future the target is anyhow to have then, as currently we call this external server for the egress test, no? And the target is also to become independent finally from the external server.
Okay.
And call just the own app, no, that is hosted as an IPv6 app, no, and can then be called via the ingress load balancer. We have to expose then a REST endpoint in the app that could be called, and this should finally then just return what the external server returns, and then we are independent from external resources. Later, I think, Jochen, we may have to think about if we then also use this load balancer maybe for the other bubble ends, or so that we have for the existing ones.
Yes, I think we use mainly. Wait, Dobby was AWS, right?
Yeah.
Yes, on AWS, we are mainly using the old load balancer type, and that could need and use an update. Yes, indeed. Yeah, it likely involves again tearing down everything. I doubt that you can change the load balancer on the fly, and then bubble up again.
So maybe just one thing for compatibility reasons, if we have to stick at least for one bubble end with the old load balancer,
Yeah.
Maybe we start first with getting it work.
Yeah,
for the
let's get
Adobe
this to
end.
work, and when that is really up and running, then we can
Then we
migrate
can
the rest. Yes.
Okay.
You mean to wait for the whole IPv6 implementation, then try to change the load balancer, or we can try to...
No, we should start it now and do it for the Adobe environment, also for the IP validation, IPv6 validation pipeline. But we have still the other productive bubble environments where we test installation from scratch, updates, and so on, so forth. Also, there are many more Bosch bootloader environments in the community. And the thing that we have to think about is if we change for those bubble environments also to the new load balancer. Yeah. Also first for the dual stack, it's completely uncritical because this is completely separated. No? But then afterwards for the existing one that are used productively so far for our Cloud Foundry tests and update tests, we have also to think about if we change all these environments then with the new load balancer. And the aspect that I brought up just this to Jochen is we also have to think about if we may need still at least maybe in one or two of the bubble ends the old load balancer for compatibility reasons. Yeah, but this then we can still make our mind. Just let first get it run on the Adobe environment, and then if it's runs there, probably we still can then think if we switch all the other environments to the new load balancer, or if we maybe keep one or two for compatibility reasons.
Okay, so we might need to recreate Adobe once again in this case.
Yeah, it's
likely yes, but yeah, I delete a Terraform resource and add another one. It could work, but yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Clear or not clear?
Maybe I will have additional questions, but I'll try to clear them tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
Can we move to the next topics?
Yes.
Aftab, these are from you, if I'm not wrong, or the cost reduction topics?
Yes, it's from me. So yeah, as everybody is aware of the fact that need to save some bugs on all. So maybe we have these two backlog items. One was to move all the bubble environments from Europe West 3 region to US East 1. Only for GCP, not the AWS. So this is done completely. All the environments, including their resources, everything has been moved. In addition to that, we have this Concourse instance, which is also running on the same region. We move out that also, and did the cleanup. And now as third point, we have this RFC, which is to have a central caucus for all the working group that need to be discussed maybe for in this meeting. I don't know what is going to look like a future, but I read the RFC and they have a dedicated instance and they want to onboard all the working groups on this central concourse. And yeah, this is that. And in addition to that, lastly, there's further action which we might think of maybe saving more bucks on this infrastructure. So we have this like number of clusters. In a cluster, we have a number of worker nodes. Maybe we can reduce that one, the database size. I think so it's almost 38 GB. And we don't need to have this much big SQL instance. We might could reduce the size, because currently now I think it's almost 17 GB and the whole space or storage is just taken by the logs from the Concourse build logs. So yeah, we might also think also to implement this, but yeah, we also have a central Concourse. So let's see whether we should have this build logs retention policy to maybe a month or maybe less than that to only have that log. So at least we will have a small database. Yeah.
Yeah.
And lastly, the VM sizes, I don't know whether it's worth to spend some time there to find and a good VM size. Currently, I think so we use the N2, but I'm not sure. This has also been need to be investigated for yeah, further on this yeah, item.
So what we could do is scaling into, I think, 6 workers. That should be enough. I mean, what we would have to check is the peak load when the CF deployment validation pipeline runs. That's the peak load. And when then everything is fine, the sizing is correct. Build log retention. I think I checked the Helm chart, and this is it. I think it was not supported out of the box, so we would have to introduce a new parameter there.
Mm-hmm.
Might be better to wait for the central concourse and make sure the retention settings are correct there. Or I don't know, is there a manual cleanup for concourse so that we one time delete everything that is older than a year?
I think so. By default, they have this topic. It's called performance tuning, and they don't do it. I think so. They specify expose a flag that you can specify. Maybe manually deleting it. That could be an option.
Yeah. Okay.
But you never know. But I think so.
No.
We can give it a try.
I think
But yeah, this is something need to be investigated. I mean, yeah, we can think of it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But a little bit will be challenging is to find the right VM sizes for this one.
Yeah.
Because you need to do the comparison of kind of a benchmarking and not to underutilize and over. And yeah, that's it. The last thing, Jochen, you added was this GCS buckets for this trolley environment. I think so. When we tear it down last time, it was deleted. The whole buckets were gone, so nothing was there. And now,
yes.
could you remember how much the size? What's the actual size of this bucket now?
The size not so what we do is we do delete CF as a Bosch deployment, but that does not automatically clean up an external blob store. We have this orphaned blobs cleanup job in Cloud Controller, but it does not run very often. So it's the lifetime of the CF deployment is not long enough for this job to clean up everything.
Oh, in the midnight that runs.
Yeah, it runs midnight or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we could manually with an additional concourse step delete, empty the buckets, but then we need gcloud or gsutil as a tool.
Yeah. All right.
Any opinions? I mean, could do some calculations how much money we save. You're muted.
So I think it will be little. What you could do is, as a first step, to configure the storage policy from standard to auto. That at least makes it cheaper. There was some cost reduction. And yeah, emptying the buckets is then the second step. Of course, short-lived environments here, the standard cleanup by CF will not trigger because the landscapes don't run long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, how to. Yeah, we have the same in Capi.
Yeah,
you need one of the utilities.
Okay.
Let's see.
So I configured this auto class so that there are different storage classes from cold to hot, depending how often the stuff is used. And there's an auto setting in GCP that chooses the best class. So not sure how much we will save there. Yeah, and for properly cleaning up the buckets, we need an external tool, or we need the Bosch storage CLI, one of those. Is that easier?
Yeah, but the versions that are currently released don't allow to clean a bucket. I think this is one of the extensions that we will bring in.
Ah, okay, it's one.
And
Yeah.
we start with Azure,
Yeah,
not with
I see.
GCP. It will come, but it will take a little bit of
time.
time. Yeah. So probably G-Cloud is maybe the simplest solution.
G-Cloud could work. All right, good. So then we would give it a try, install G-Cloud on the CDCT image. Is that okay? I could make the image a bit bigger. It needs Python.
Ah, it comes with lots of dependencies.
So, okay, next best thing, we install it on the Runtime CI image, which is more for our working group.
Sure.
Okay, good. So yeah, need to evaluate in which image, or maybe there is already, no, yeah, there is certainly already a Docker image with G-Cloud. I mean, we are not the only users and we only need that tool. So we should use something from Docker Hub, and it should not be too difficult to call to clean up a few buckets. Okay.
Okay. And one last thing, the central concourse, I think the RFC is approved, or what are here the next concrete steps?
Ah, the central concourse. Okay, the next step is that somebody from Broadcom promised to do something, but they promised it also 2 weeks ago and 4 weeks ago. I would not bet on that for the moment. I would wait until it is there, until it's really running, and until, let's say, a few smaller pipelines are running on it. So if you want to start with it, I would use a, I don't know, smoke test release or something like that. Start with something small. The CF deployment pipeline is probably one of the biggest, so I would wait. With Kapi, we do the same. We may experiment with a small one once it is there, but and then I wait and see.
Yeah, this perfectly in line what I have in mind. So it's clear they have first to set it up, and then maybe some of the smaller ones do the first experiments.
All the topics with credentials and how to separate the different working groups, etc. That's all open. Nobody has a solution yet. So let's wait.
But is that completely driven by Broadcom or maintained? Also no SAP involved? Okay.
Maybe it's driven by the working group for Concourse, and maybe SAP participates in this working group one day.
Okay, yeah. Might make sense, no? Because it's a central piece.
Do they have an idea how each working group manages their secrets?
No,
I mean,
they have it on their to-do list to come up with an idea.
Okay.
So they only put in words like Vault and GitHub, and Ruben always said, well, this will not work with that tool, and this will not work with that tool, but no solution.
Too bad, but we have a lot of stuff that we need to access from time to time.
That's why I start with a very small, uncritical pipeline and see how it works, and then.
Do they ping them somehow when the servers are available and the different working groups will start?
I guess they will be a big party, a release party with this.
A big release party.
In Slack. I guess they will, it will be announced at least in the TOC channel, but probably also there will be some news in the working group channels to advertise that it is there, and then.
Do you have a gut feeling when this will become relevant? Somewhere maybe
the last time they said they haven't started yet on it working because of other assignments, and but now they want to start, and then we said 2, maybe 4 weeks, but just by listening and looking at his reactions, I would say
okay.
Wait and see.
Okay. Good. All right. Thanks.
All right. Any other important topics? If you have something in mind to discuss.
Will, yes, as announced, I'll be on vacation for 4 weeks. So tomorrow, last day. If you have any urgent questions, then please ask tomorrow.
Or
I
never.
already.
Or never.
Never ever. Okay. Aftab and Dimitar already have agreed to take over the following 2 meetings. So thanks for that. There will be 2 working group meetings without me. Yeah.
I think the one and only maybe for tomorrow the call is Milena is maybe
I think
taking the
I
chance
understand.
for the load balancer part.
No,
No?
I also
Last question.
when I understand it, I think.
Okay,
Okay.
good. Fine.
I shortly asked maybe 1 hour before tomorrow if there are still topics, no? And then you can reply, and if not, then we cancel it. As usual.
Yep.
Good. Jochen, then I wish you a nice vacation if you don't see us tomorrow again.
Thanks. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, colleagues.
Good,
Have a
colleagues.
wonderful
Bye-bye.
summer
You're
vacation.
done. Yes.
Yep.
Have a nice hot evening and see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.